Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. If we look at the indices this morning, we can see that Dow futures is down mildly, but the other two indices, S&P futures and Nasdaq futures, are up. They're also up a little bit. That can be wiped out from now, which is 7:25 a.m. to market open, which is going to be around 9:30 a.m. These things could change. So right now, I think that the outlook is kind of neutral for the markets. And I would like to take you to another place where I want to talk about the indices. If you look at Dow Jones, we stopped down just at this resistance that we have out here. We have checked two resistance yesterday and were pushed back firmly by both of them. So we'll have to see if we are able to break this strong resistance of the horizontal line of resistance and the previous bull channel resistance. Now, if we are able to break through this, then I think we'll have to consider that we are broken out of a bearish spell. Otherwise, if we come down, then we continue to be in the bear channel. Let's look at S&P 500. Same story out here. We had to break through above this diagonal line of resistance in order for us to be out of this bear channel. And we need to bounce off this diagonal line of support to make sure that we are above the previous bear channel. But in order for us to be bullish, we need to create new higher highs and higher lows, and that will take some time. And in case of Russell, we already broken out of the bear channel. Now what we look for here is going to be higher highs and higher lows so that we are in a bull channel. And I would like to go to Nasdaq. And in Nasdaq, we still are inside this bull flag, I would say, because we are on a bullish channel. We have the support out here, we have the resistance on the top, and we need to break through this resistance and create new higher highs. So I think the work is cut out. We are still not out of the woods. We could also be in a bull trap at this point of time. A little bit of negative news could push us either way. Now, put call ratio is slightly bullish. Anything below 1 I would consider to be bullish. And 0.7 is, I think, a very good bullish indicator, but we are not there yet. 0.845, we can live with that. And as far as volatility is concerned, it's up a little bit mildly. Now, having said all these things, let us go and have a look at the XLY by XLP, which continues to show that discretionary is doing very well, which is a good thing for the market. Now, I want to move across to AI. And in AI, you will see that Google is still range bound. It is still showing a high level of volatility, range bound within these two limits. The upper one is, I'm going to put a resistance red line out here. The upper one is today at 199.83, so 199.03. So we'll have to see if we can break through that. In pre-market, we are down 1%. We are gone to 195. So we are going to test the support today. This is the support, 192.84. I'm going to mark that green so that we know that it's a support out there. Then let's look at Tesla. Tesla is attempting to break through and break through the bear channel, and I think it has succeeded to a good extent because this was our bear channel and we took support from there. So I'm going to mark this green, but Tesla is not yet out of the woods. It has to retest this support out here at 418.47. so once it retests the support, then I would say that it's in the process of creating new higher highs and higher lows, which means it's creating a bull channel. And then I think I would consider this to be a double bottom and try to project that we could probably break above 467.16, which is going to be its key resistance. Now, having said that, let's look at Apple. Apple is trying to make a smart comeback, but I think Apple is totally bearish at this point of time. Pre-market, it's up 0.48. It's neither here nor there. Meta is behaving in a consolidating fashion. It is still on the bull channel up there, but it has to validate again this support out here to confirm that it's continuing to go bullish because the vitals are not looking that great. Pre-market, we are down 1.40%. So I would say that Meta is consolidating right now. Amazon is still on the bear channel. It's on the way down. If I connect the lines out here, you'll be able to see that. I would consider this to be a bull flag. And if we are able to bounce off this line of support out here, that would give us the necessary energy to break out above this diagonal line of resistance. And that would be today somewhere around 226.45. Right now, it's Amazon is at 224.01, up 0.3%, which is a minor raise. We'll see what happens when the market opens. Microsoft continues to be in a bear channel. However, it has made a good breakthrough out here by breaking through 425.30, which was a big resistance coming through for a long period of time. And therefore, I think Microsoft is attempting to create new higher highs and new higher lows, which will take it into a bull channel. So I'm looking forward to see what happens in the next few days. Nvidia is up 1.18%. I think it's a very weak jump given the fact that TSMC came up with really good results, and that should have reflected more heavily on Nvidia. So I'll have to watch Nvidia and see what happens with Nvidia, because we are firmly back into this diagonal line of support, which again seems to be a bull channel, but we need to create higher highs and higher lows. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Today, before market, we are already at 137.88, which takes it up by 1.20% in pre-market action. We need to break the resistance at 140.85 in order for us to see that Nvidia continues in a bullish channel. Right now, MACD and momentum are not looking that great. I'd look at AMD. AMD is still firmly in the bear channel. I don't see much scope out there at this point of time. FNGO is reflecting a bearish outlook also, and it's also still under this diagonal line of support. So I think the key factor for us today is for these stocks to break the diagonal line of resistance that has come from the last so many months. I would say all the way from 16th of December till now, we have been on a downward spiral. We had to break through that, and then things would look better. AVGO is creating a bull flag, and there's a huge gap up. Again, this indicates a lot of vulnerability out here to do the gap fill, so it can bring it down. Palantir is still trying very hard to break through, but it is still under the bear channel, and MACD and momentum are improving a little bit, but they are still bearish. Now I would like to go to Rigetti, which has gapped up, which is again an irregular price action. I would have rather it had gone up with at least a wick out here, but that has not happened. So I think volatility is still high for Rigetti. Rigetti is up 4.75% and gone to 11.46 this morning, aiming to break this gap down and fill it up and then break this resistance at 18.42. MACD is on the mend, but it is still bearish. We'll see what happens with that. And let's go to genomics. And in genomics, there was a lot of gains yesterday. And we have Verve, which has formed a long leg doji candle. Vitals are still looking weak. It's down 3.28% pre-market. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 1.61% pre-market, but MACD and momentum indicate a different story. Caribou Biosciences is up 1.27%, but they're all in the bear channel. And CRISPR Therapeutics, again, I think it's quite inexpensive at this point of time, but we are in a bear channel which continues to go downwards, and it could go as low as 36.41 as per the chart right now. Momentum is picking up a little bit, and MACD is trying to go green, but we'll have to wait and see if it can retest this support at 38.68 and bounce back. And if it does that, then I would think that it will have potential of creating a new higher high. Then we'll have to wait for a new higher low to confirm that it's gone into a bull channel, in which case we'll have a potential double bottom out here, which can give us a target. And Grail is up 1.82% pre-market, but it's already broken down below this diagonal line of support, converting that into a diagonal line of resistance, which it has to break through today. Next, we go on to Prime, which is still moving in a bear channel, and we have Beam, which is also bearish at this point of time, and it's up 0.04%. That doesn't mean anything. And there is again this line of support at 25.10, which has become resistance, and I had forgotten to change that, so I'll change it into resistance. We got Altimmune down 0.46% in a very bearish trend out here. We are still waiting for some news about pemvidutide. As soon as we get that, I would expect this to rocket up. Bluebird is down 2.56%. Again, it's range bound, and there is a range. You can look at the range out here. I'm just going to draw two lines to show you the range. So that is the top of the range out there, which is a red candle, and then I'm going to take the candle down here. So this is the bottom of the range. So we have a green candle out here, and we are moving within this range. And to be more specific, in the short-term context, this is our range out here. We have a support at 8.07. So if we bounce back above this support, then we'll have a resistance which is at 10.18. That could do a swing trade strategy. Again, this is personal opinion, not financial advice. Please do your due diligence. Allogene is down around 2.60% from yesterday. Pre-market it's flat. Nothing much happening out here. mRNA is up 0.14%, but there's a huge gap down out here. This stock is very volatile. I'd be very careful getting into this stock. ARCG is down 0.04%, and we have a support at 22.94, and it's just consolidating somewhere out there. It's within yesterday's range, so it's trying to improve from yesterday. Let's see what happens when the market opens. I'm not very optimistic out there. PSCB is up 3.72%, but again, this is also range bound. So we got a support out here, and we got a resistance on the top out here. Let me draw a new resistance to further refine this. I'd put a resistance out here, and I would say that we are range bound between these two lines out here. And that could again be a swing trade strategy, but again, personal opinion, not financial advice. NTLA is up 0.72%. It's in a bear channel. I'm going to convert this line of support into a line of resistance. So we are just below this line of resistance out here, and our MACD and momentum all are weak. Illumina, I'm still hopeful about Illumina. It's down 0.54% in pre-market trades. MACD is bullish, but momentum is a bit weak. We are still above the 200-day exponential. As long as we are above 200-day exponential, I'll consider this to be a little bullish bias out here. But right now, my cup and handle targets, everything is gone. And I think the reverse head and shoulder target becomes more active, more likely at this point of time. IMTX is down 3.65%, and we have Editas, which is up 0.82% after going up 7% yesterday. Let us see if there is any news on Editas. I do not have any new news on Editas, but this is positive, and MACD is much better. It's bullish, and momentum is picking up, but momentum is still very low. It has to go above average for it to be meaningful, but we'll take anything we get. Right now, while I was speaking, the pre-market action has turned flat for Editas. Then we have Unicure, which was up 5.74% yesterday, and it's up 0.07% this morning. We have this gap up which needs to be filled up. Gap up and gap down typically act as magnets. So I would be concerned that we may be very close to starting to fill up this gap, in which case there is a huge drop ahead for Unicure. SANA, Sana Biotechnology, it was up 6.34% yesterday, and this morning it's up 2.33%. MACD is really good. Momentum is also pretty good. So I think it is resuming its upward journey, but as long as it is below its 200-day exponential moving average, I wouldn't have the confidence that it has become totally bullish. I would wait for it to create new higher highs and higher lows, and also go above the 200-day exponential moving average. And then I think I would say that we are in a firm position to move upwards. The excitement for Sana is basically its UP421 primary islet cells, which are used for type 1 diabetes. The approach is similar, in my opinion, to what Vertex and CRISPR were doing. And they are in the first in-human safety study. And CRISPR is already in the inhuman safety study for type 1 diabetes in Canada for the last so many months. So they have competition, but at this point of time, the hype is all because of this particular therapy, UP421. We do not know when there is going to be any approval or BLA submission. So there is going to be that catalyst coming up later on, but all this hype needs to be sustained for a longer period of time. That's where I am having concerns, because the market doesn't have patience. We have seen that with all our gene therapy stocks. So anybody who has a profit is likely to, this is my personal opinion, whoever has profit should do some covered calls to protect on the downside, and probably take some profits here and there. That's what I think would be a prudent course of action. Again, personal opinion, not financial advice. And my major concern is also about Japanese yen unwind, because if you look at what is happening in Japan, here is the 5-year Japanese bond auction. They were expecting the yields to be around 0.734. It's at 0.876. So basically, I'm thinking that Japan might raise its interest rates. They are widely expected to raise interest rates in March. Trump is going to come in and put his tariffs, that could cause some problems. So we'll have to see how Japan navigates that. So I wouldn't rule out the possibility that they could increase the rates even before that. So when that happens, we could have a yen carry trade unwind like we had in the past, and the stock market could fall. So there is that volatility aspect also out there. Right now, I think for the stock markets, the next catalyst is going to be Trump inauguration, which is coming up on the 20th, and I expect the markets to stay volatile. And I think as retail investors, we have to be prudent and we have to be careful. We need to watch, and then we have to react only when we know the direction. Probably we may not make as much profits as possible. At least we won't make too much of losses. That's the way I'm looking at it. Well guys, that brings me to an end of this video. Please let me know what you think, and I'll catch up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.